But let's quickly take this across to our guest. Joining us is Mohandas Pai, Chairman of Ardent Capital. Suhail Seth, columnist, is with us. R.S. Luna, former ED of SEBI, is with us. Also with us is Piruz Khambata, Chairman of Rasna Group. Coming to you first, Mohandas Pai, as far as this entire BluSmart saga is concerned, I'd like to begin by asking you, one of India's prominent startups has halted operations following SEBI's interim order against the parent company Gensol Engineering over alleged financial mismanagement. How do you view this development? Do you see this as something that's very concerning?
First of all, BluSmart is not a very prominent company. It's one of the small companies that exists in India. So we got to be clear. It's not a very big company. It is a company which was involved in using EV vehicles. The fraud has happened in Gensol. Gensol is a listed company where the promoters of the company have taken money and then diverted that money. They had an arrangement with this company to make sure that they are able to give the vehicles to them to run and manage. And I think the Gensol fraud and criminal misappropriation of money is what SEBI has come down harsh on. SEBI has given a report showing diversion of money to related parties. SEBI has demonstrated how money was diverted criminally to personal purposes. And that is very, very concerning. And criminal action should be taken against the promoters of Gensol. And BluSmart has been a corollary damage because associated with Gensol. BluSmart is an operator of EV vehicles, and that's the startup which people are talking about. I think we got to distinguish between both these companies, even though the promoters in both the companies, so the so-called founders, happen to be the same.
Right.
It's a matter of concern that this kind of fraud has happened, and I think the regulators should take very strong action.
Because you've spoken about empowering Indian entrepreneurs in the past, but at the same time, how do we create a culture where founders themselves, see themselves not just as disruptors, but as custodians of public trust and investor capital? Whatever reforms in this case would you propose, particularly as far as the law is concerned, incentives or education, to hardwire this kind of mindset into the Indian startups' DNA?
That's a beautiful question. That's a very good question. I think we have to create a culture of good governance. We have to create a culture of proper systems and processes. And we have to create a culture of making sure that, investors' money is properly used for the purpose for which it has been raised and proper oversight. And that means, I think the industry association or the venture capital industry, like the Indian Venture Capital Association, should have a massive training program for all the members to sit on startup boards to tell them these are the important things that you must monitor and ask in a board meeting every now and then. And then we must have founders. We must have proper training and discussion with founders by the venture capitalists and the investor before they invest to make sure that the founders also understand what their obligation is and the fiduciary responsibility is, and to follow good governance, which is beneficial to them and beneficial to everybody else.
Okay.
Both investors and the founders should come together, and some of them should not act like cowboys to say that don't interfere with me, leave me alone, I'll do what I want and show you. It's not going to work. I think system processes are very essential for growth. I think it's a wake-up call for the entire industry to come together and work out means, both for better governance, better oversight, and the founders to understand the responsibility greater and to be much more respectful of investors' capital.
All right, let's take this across to other guests as well. Suhail Seth, it's a